I now welcome Mirko Bor, President of the Deafblind International, an extremely good educator, an extremely good human being, and I've had the privilege of working with him on developing a booklet on people with MDVI and deafblindness. Welcome, Mirko.
So, good morning. Hello, everyone. While we wait for the slides, just let me ask you this question. If I would meet you, and I will meet you, some of you at least, and I would ask you, what are you? What would be your answer to me? Maybe someone on the panel? Francis tells us she would say, I'm human. And that's exactly the answer I was looking for. A human being. Or even if we go beyond this, a sentient being. And while I'm just improvising my own speech now, I'm good in that, don't worry. So while I'm just improvising this is exactly the theme of the conference, isn't it? I mean, we just heard this very powerful speech about inclusion in diversity, and we heard about the needs that people living with a form of visual impairment or a form of deafblindness, their needs, what they have, and that's a lot. So we don't need the slides, don't. We just heard about those needs now, and they're huge, they're immense, and there's still so much to do. But all of this is based on philosophy. All of this can be framed in a very, very, very old philosophical concept, and this concept is called humanism. It's called humanism. It's as simple as that. And this Open University is, of course, a grand example of a humanistic open university. And when I say humanism, I go beyond human beings. I would say this extends to sentient human beings.
We now welcome Martin Abel Williamson, the President of the World Blind Union. A very powerful lady, a very hard-working lady, and a very charming lady. We now welcome Martin Abel Williamson, the President of the World Blind Union. A very powerful lady, a very hard-working lady, and a very charming lady.
Good morning, everybody. Madam President, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends, first, thank you for this invitation. We love celebrating with you. Thank you to the local organizers. I don't think anybody has slept, and it was wonderful to meet people in person after emailing them day after day. Thank you to the sponsors. These events cannot happen and bring us all together if we don't have very, very generous sponsors. On 26 October this year, so not too long ago, the World Blind Union celebrated its 40th year. 40 years ago, some people call it Unification Day, 3 major blindness agencies representing blind and partially sighted people from all walks of life decided to merge and speak with one voice collectively. That is power, and that has been received very well. So if one is allowed to congratulate yourself, I'd like us all to congratulate World Blind Union for surviving 40 years. We are there to empower blind and partially sighted people to live the life they choose. And to that regard, there are so many options and so many expectations, and that's why it's great to collaborate with agencies such as ICEVI. Without education, nothing that we aspire to, such as employment, accessible health services, being able to rent or buy a home, being able to travel, to use technology, might not be possible. So education is so vital, and we can't value enough such a colleague, such an organization alongside us to help us share the load. Also, education is lifelong, and we'll be hearing through the next few days not just about children needing education, but so many others. We've heard that women and children are still marginalized. Many women go into education later on, after they had raised a family, because that's all they were able to do at the time. Finally, I'd like to briefly just mention some areas that we're already working on together with ICEVI. Marrakesh Treaty and the right to read. We still have a long way to go, so people, please, we need to work more together. We have 6 regions. I believe ICEVI have 7 or 8, so 7, good. So it's not just about global collaboration, but regional, and national collaboration. So those of you from all your regions, WBU have people here from Africa Blind Union, Asia Blind Union, World Blind Union Asia Pacific, North America, Caribbean, European Blind Union, and also Latin America. So please find your parallel person, maybe more than one, and please link up with them.
We now come to the guest of honor of this entire program, the Honorable Minister from Zimbabwe, the Deputy Minister, Madam Mercy. I invite her to speak, and I hope, Madam, you take a lot of messages from Aubrey and all of us to your country, and wherever you need the ICBI or the WBU or the Deafblind International to help you technically, we would love to do so. So please accept this from us.
Thank you very much, Madam. Ladies and gentlemen, the International Council for Education of People with Visual Impairment, ICEVI, is an international organization which seeks to promote the inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility of persons with visual impairments across the globe. The World Blind Union 2023 postulates that, and it is estimated that there are over 253 million persons with visual impairments across the globe. Given the above statistics, there is no way we can ignore this segment, this noble cause of the target population, since they constitute the majority of the disability constituency. Firstly, the theme of this World Conference, inclusion, diversity, equity, accessibility for all, is in line with the government of Zimbabwe's mantra, which subscribes to the notion that no one and no place and no person should be left behind. In addition, the above thematic framework calls for member states across the globe and non-governmental organizations working in the disability fraternity to promote inclusive education among persons with disabilities as enshrined in the 2030 Global Agenda, that is SDGs 2015 to 2030. As a country, my government, that is the government of Zimbabwe, is walking the talk by ensuring that certain strategic key positions in the public sector are occupied by both men and women with visual impairments. For instance, the appointment of our first judge at the High Court was occupied by a person with a visual impairment. We should clap for that. In the case of my ministry, that is the Ministry of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare, my director here present, Mr. Shumba Nyepirai, is visually impaired and was appointed as director responsible for the Department of Disability Affairs. Given the above background, I urge governmental and non-governmental organizations here present to promote the global disability inclusive agenda in their employment policies. Secondly, this World Conference will foster cross-pollination of ideas, since as key stakeholders in the disability fraternity, we are going to present current research and practice in the field of visual impairment. Therefore, I hope different abstracts which are going to be presented during this conference will in a way help policymakers to design, to implement, and to evaluate policies and legislations that are disability friendly and cater for the special needs of visually impaired persons across the globe. Lastly, I would like to urge you all to remain strong, resolute in the face of adversity. Thank you very much. Namaste.
And I would love to invite now Dr. Mani for the final word of thanks, vote of thanks, after which we break for tea and are back exactly in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you, Nandini. I want to tell about a small episode from the great epic Ramayana. Lord Hanuman had to cross over the sea to find Mother Sita. And he was standing on one side of India in Dhanushkodi, and he was trying to jump. But he was so diffident. He thought, I can't do. Then there was a Jambavan who identified the strength in Hanuman and told, look, Anjaneya, you have the capacity to jump. And keep the Almighty in your mind, keep Rama in your mind and jump. Then he realized and he took a Vishwarupa and he crossed over the sea and reached Sri Lanka. Why do I connect this with this conference? My happy moments, 30 years from now, it is 2024, 1994. I was the regional chairperson of the combined Asia region at that time. No ICEVI conference was organized before that. I was the regional chair, not CEO. CEO was created in 2002. So I was looking for an organization to host the first Asia regional conference. I came to Ahmedabad because I know my great elder brother, Bhushan Punani, and my younger sister, Nandini Rawal. So I came here with the hope that they will take up the challenge. I went to the room of Jagdish Bhai. Jagdish Patel, who was the founder of the organization, we were alone, both of us. Jagdish Bhai asked a question in his very feeble voice. I still remember those words. When I said, Jagdish Bhai, I request you to help me in organizing this first Asian conference in Ahmedabad. Jagdish Bhai asked, do you think we can do it? Do you think we can do it? I had to play the role of Jambavan at that time. I said, Jagdish Bhai, I see the great potential in this organization. I see the two professionals coming from the Indian Institute of Management, heading a big team here. For your information, these two people who are spearheading the organization are not from the blindness field. They are from the highest, the topmost institute, management institute of Ahmedabad. They should have gone for a much higher position, but they preferred blindness field, that is Bhushan Punani and Nandini Rawal. So I told, this Blind People Association has great ability to organize conferences. I told at that time, it is not the regional conference. At one day, I want to see BPA organizing an international conference of ICEVI. I made this statement to the founder of the organization, Jagdish Bhai, in 1994. Today it has become a reality. So, since then, this is the 8th conference of BPA. And in my service, I don't think any organization in ICVI has organized this many number of regional and national and international conferences. So thank you, BPA. The entire team of BPA. Well, it is like, my home. If you just want to say, which is your second home in India, I would, without hesitation, I will say it is BPA. Because I have the entire family, the love and affection. So we have to give a big round of applause to all the team members of the BPA, wherever you are. Some of them are staying at the airport, some of them are in different places. I was coming from the airport, Dr. Panda asked me, oh, you must be in a tense situation. I said, why? He said, you are organizing an international conference. I said, yes. Well, I am associated with a number of international conferences in ICVI. Yeah, I always have tense moments, but not here. When the responsibility is with the BPA, I can relax. There is no tension for me. So that is the kind of professionalism and involvement. So once again, I thank all the members of the BPA, right from the trustees, Rajendra Bhai. I had the opportunity to sit by the side of Arvind Lalbhai in 1995. So I'm able to see you now. And the same spirit, right from 1995, one thing, it has not gone away from BPA. That is the spirit. Vivekananda, when he talked about Ramakrishna Mission, he said, Ramakrishna Mission is not functioning because of the rules and regulation. Ramakrishna Mission is functioning because the spirit behind that. So that is the spirit of BPA. I want to thank one and all the trustees, all the members of the BPA for hosting this great event. I want to specially thank Madam Vice Chancellor, your gracious acceptance to host this event. And not only this, 2026, we are going to be here again. So thank you so much for your acceptance. Your address was a kind of enlightenment. I was just sitting here looking at Sage Kashyapa, the father of Lord Sun, giving the enlightenment to the entire group. So thank you so much for your great address. And now, from now onwards, you are also part of our ICVI family. Yeah. Madam Minister, thank you so much for your gracious presence here. And we all, I had the opportunity to visit Zimbabwe a couple of years back, I think a few decades back, when we started the Education for All campaign. It has a great, potential, and with your leadership, I'm sure, things will become better. I want to thank one by one my president, one of the finest presidents of ICVI, Francis Gentle. As Nandini pointed out, she is very gentle in her approach and trying to bring the ICVI together at difficult times. Francis, I will miss you all, because today they have given me the honor to thank, but today I am the ex-CEO of ICVI, because yesterday we appointed Sean Piantoni as the new Secretary General of ICVI. But I cannot be separated from ICVI, because unless you kick out a person from the family, the person is part of the family. So I will be with ICVI forever in my mind and spirit, action, etc. Thank you so much for all your leadership that you have given over the years. And thank you, Sean. And she's another sister. We know each other since 1998. When she came to India, when we worked on the first Indian Sign Language Dictionary as a part of CBM. Thank you so much, Sean. You accepted the position of the program committee chair. It is absolutely marvelous to work with you. Martin, your involvement with ICVI, ICVI and WBU are collaborating very much on so many dimensions, and this collaboration, this conference, the WBU officers have come here to organize the meeting. I'm sure the collaboration will go a long way. Together we can achieve more. My friend Mirko, you have started a, Deaf Blind International has started a global campaign on deaf blindness education, and ICVI is also part of it. So the path has started and the journey has started, and I'm sure we will be able to work together in achieving a lot in the neglected area of deaf blindness. And coming from there, my younger brother Akhil Paul, who brought Sense International, and today there is awareness about education of deaf blind children in the country. That is because of my big but small brother Akhil Paul. So thank you so much, Akhil. And coming to my elder brother Bhushan Punani, who is always a friend, philosopher, guide to me. Yesterday I was telling that when I ventured to get into ICVI from my university service, very few people encouraged me. And out of them, I said 3 people I have to single out. One is Bhushan Punani, second is Nandini Raval, third is my wife. Other than that, nobody encouraged me, leaving the university service and coming to the ICVI in 2002. So for all your guidance, like the elder brother in the family, I sincerely thank you for what you have done to me. Nandini, though we call her younger sister, I always call her mom. Why? Because whenever she goes out of the country, whenever she is in a conference, she takes care of all the people, all the delegates with a motherly affection. So that is why we always call Nandini mother. Right. So thank you so much. I want to recognize some of our international partners. You have recognized the regional chairs here. So I want to recognize some of our international partners. They are always very, very kind to ICVI. Today, what is ICVI? That is because of the contribution of our dedicated international partners. Our first partner who was with us, instrumental in bringing the Education for All campaign to ICVI, Anna Peles from Onse. Where is Anna? Anna is, yes. So, OneSay is one of our most valuable international partner. Overbrook School for the Blind, the Nippon Foundation, higher education program, and all the mathematics thing that is because of the Nippon Foundation. We want to recognize our great friend Todd Reeves from the Overbrook School for the Blind, USA. Thank you so much, Todd. And I don't know whether there are representatives from RNIB, one of our founding members, and they pass on their greetings to the conference. Our founding member, Perkins School for the Blind. There are so many friends from the Perkins School for the Blind. Anybody here? Yeah, yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. We want to recognize the Perkins School for the Blind. CBM, the strongest supporter of ICVI right from its inception. CBM, you know, there are so many members, and Sean is also a member of CBM, and I'm also an advisor of CBM, thanks to CBM. And Sightsavers, Sightsavers is very kind to ICVI. Please convey our greetings to Sightsavers. Getty is also there representing Sightsavers, one of our strongest international partners. Though they are not here, Royal Dutch Visio, Netherlands, you know, right from Hans Welling and Marcel and Sabine, they are so kind to ICVI. So our greetings to them also. So these are the current international partners. Of course, the next sense, you know, where Francis Gentle is working. So this is a great event, and it took a little longer, but I had to thank all. I also thank the present principal officers, dear Praveena, you know, for taking the role of the treasurer of ICVI, the most difficult job. You know, before that, we had to change the constitution of the ICVI to accommodate a person for 4 terms as the treasurer of ICVI, that was Nandini Rawal. So after that, Praveena is working as the treasurer. Thank you, Praveena. I want to thank Colin Lowe and my other principal officer, Bhushan Punani, and I wish the new principal officers to have a bright future in the ICVI. And finally, I pass on the baton here to my successor, Dr. Sean Piantoni. I'm sure ICVI is a great organization.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mani. So would you now please stand up for the Indian National Anthem?
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे